After signing the Declaration of Independence in 1776, the 13 former American colonies had an identity crisis.
It was one thing to declare independence. It was another to figure out exactly what you were now that you'd declared it. And people didn't really know what this new sort of bunch of former colonies, soon-to-be states, was going to be. No one knew. It was completely up in the air.
At the time, the governing body was the Continental Congress. In 1777, this Congress took an important first step to unite the former colonies by drafting the Articles of Confederation.
They decided there needed to be some kind of organized something at the center of all the colonies, but it couldn't be too strong because they were breaking away from a government that felt too strong. So they created a confederation of states in which individuals from the different states would be kind of like diplomats, all together in one body, and they could deal with things like foreign affairs and things that involved all of the states together. Things that had to do with what was going on inside the states, they left alone to the states.
In just a few years, it's clear that the Articles of Confederation don't provide enough power to a centralized government. In fact, the Confederation Congress had so little centralized power, the state delegates often didn't bother to show up to vote.
Things came to a head in 1786 with a rebellion of farmers in Massachusetts who didn't want to pay their debts. It was called Shays' Rebellion. It ended up being almost impossible to put down. The Confederation Congress really ended up being unable to do anything, and it led a lot of people to think, maybe we better do something to strengthen the government or everything is going to fall to pieces.
So in 1787, the Constitutional Convention convened to strengthen the central government. After much wrangling, the Constitution was written in an attempt to create a more perfect union between the states.
One of the amazing things about the Constitutional Convention was something that people at the time recognized. They knew that most governments were the result either of chance or war. And they knew that what they were doing was sitting in a room and calmly trying to create a good government. They knew it was something that felt unique in world history, and if they failed at what they were doing, they all believed that this would be the general misfortune of humankind. It would be proving for all time that you couldn't create a government with calm debate, but that you would forever be subject to chance and war.
To protect against giving the central government too much power, the delegates writing the Constitution added something groundbreaking, a Bill of Rights that limits the power of federal government in the U.S. and protects the rights of all citizens. On September 17, 1787, the final form of the Constitution was approved at the Constitutional Convention, then ratified the following June. 200 years later, that Constitution still governs the United States.